Of the top Republican presidential candidates are back on the campaign trail right in our state. Mitt Romney, Newt Gingrich, they're continuing their push to win over the last few undecided voters before Tuesday's primary vote. Let's take a look here at the latest Quinnipiac University poll. Shows Romney at a slight advantage over Gingrich. Gingrich is gaining ground, however, from the previous polls. Hey, speaking of Gingrich, he's making 3 stops along the Treasure Coast today. That's where we find News Channel 5's Alex Sanz. He's live in Stewart's, the site of one rally. Alex, we can see big crowds there like we did in Delray Beach for Gingrich yesterday.
Sure thing, Mike. Here and across the area today, as many of these folks gather here in just a few hours to see Newt Gingrich and candidates across Florida today. But in the big picture, you talk to Republicans here in Florida, across the country, they say this election comes down to one thing for them, and that is beating Barack Obama. So much talk about that on the campaign trail in recent months, and that is why these candidates are canvassing such a wide area today to really get their message out. And so many folks are coming out to events like these to hear their message, to help them make up their minds of who they think should be the party's nominee. But as you know, so much ground being covered across South Florida over the past 24 to 48 hours, especially yesterday with Mitt Romney, with Newt Gingrich, with Rick Santorum, going to so many campaign events here. And really, the push continues. Newt Gingrich alone making 3 stops on the Treasure Coast this morning, 1 in West Palm Beach tonight. And a lot of what he's done is delivering very specific, targeted messages, addressing the nation's ambitions on the Space Coast, jobs in Miami, foreign policy in Delray Beach, and specifically the Middle East, something playing rather well with that crowd of more than 700 there. Afterwards, he spoke with us exclusively.
Well, I think the president's totally deluded about how the world works. I think he's trying to appease the Iranians who can't be appeased. I think that he has unleashed forces of change in the region he doesn't understand, and I think the region is getting more dangerous, not less.
One thing that has been part of the conversation, the dialogue here in recent months, is who is the most electable candidate in what is now this field of 4. Of course, Newt Gingrich says he is. Mitt Romney thinks he's the better person suited. And then that begs the question, just who is this, and really what does this mean for this election here on Tuesday here in Florida? Well, you talk to voters, they're a little mixed on this, but as has been the case now for many, many days, Newt Gingrich again coming to his defense, saying, my record speaks to that. He says he is a true conservative of this race.
The fact is, Michael Reagan will be here to campaign with me this weekend. Nancy Reagan in 1995 at the Goldwater Institute said, as Barry passed the torch of conservatism to Ronnie, Ronnie has passed the torch of conservatism to Newt. I think it is absurd for somebody who voted in the Democratic primary in 1992 for Paul Tsongas and who gave money to Democratic members of Congress in 1992 to question the credentials of a genuine conservative. When he wasn't there, he wasn't part of it. And in fact, he was much closer to being a liberal Democrat than he was to being a conservative Republican at that point.
Things, as you know, change so fast in politics. He had that huge surge post-South Carolina heading into Florida in recent days. According to some polls, that surge has dampened just a bit. His standing a little lower than what it was, now running some 7 to 8 points behind Mitt Romney. A lot hinges on what happens here on Tuesday night. Alex Sanz, WPTV News Channel 5.